We have got a good video for you guys tonight, sincerely. So first things first, we got 500 free diamonds. So really easy to claim it. I'm going to show you and just talk about how cool I think that is. Maybe it was kind of bad for some of you guys. So if that was you, let me know in the comments. But to me, I just woke up and we all got 500 free diamonds. That is crazy. And then the big news. For a long time, people keep asking me, do I know anything about the new faction coming to Watcher of Realms? There's no new faction. There never was a new faction, at least not yet. Hopefully one day there are a couple new factions. However, there was a new class announced. So when I say class, I don't mean these different factions here, the pretty colors next to my head. I mean, when you go to all, and we've got the fighters, we've got the defenders, we got the marksmen, we got the mages, we got the healers, right? So if you didn't catch it, War Guides did a dev interview right around the new year. I covered that as well. You can go catch either video. But essentially, the devs teased that a new class of hero was coming, a new kind of hero, a new role that would be fulfilled by a whole new, I would assume, influx of new units. And it seems we've got some real evidence live in global, in the game. I can show you right now that the new evidence that's going to prove that is here, that it should be coming sooner rather than later. Either they made a huge mistake or it could be coming next patch, the patch after, maybe one after that. I really think the next one or two, certainly by the anniversary. And based on what I'm going to show you, I really think before the anniversary. So this is crazy. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the diamonds. So if you didn't know, the game was down. This must have happened when I was sleeping in the arena. The game in the arena was down. We got a temporary closure notice. This was in the early AM my time. We regret to inform you that we're currently experiencing abnormal issues with the arena. Our team is diligently working to investigate and resolve these issues as a top priority. As a result, arena will be temporarily unavailable. Once it's resolved, you're going to get compensation. And compensation we did get. So if you didn't see, with this update, we were supposed to get a 9th wave in arena battles for any battles that lasted that long without either your portal or your opponent's portal being destroyed. However, they snuck in the new maps as well. So the new maps showed up. So those are pretty cool. I'll try to test all those out next week. I'm kind of overloaded this weekend. But somehow when they, whether intentionally or not, added the new maps, it's hard to know. We got all this new content they didn't tell us about. Like I'd say by far the biggest piece of content, we got Abyss 1. They didn't tell us. It just showed up. And then new maps would have been the next biggest thing. They didn't tell us. It just showed up. But anyway, it was there and then problems arose. There were issues. But if you're like me, when I went to sleep, I did arena. And when I woke up, it was totally functioning. And we got this juicy juice. So no promo code here or anything, but in case you haven't checked your mail yet, a lot of you probably did, you can add to your pile. So whether your pile's as big as mine, bigger or smaller, you got 500 more diamonds, and that is really nothing to scoff at. 440 diamonds is 5 summons. So it's 5 summons plus 60, that's a huge stamina pot. So there's a bunch of ways to do the calculations, but to me, this is 5 summons towards the next limited banner for everybody, plus 200 stamina. That's huge. That is huge. That's crazy compensation. So let me know if this affected you. This must have been a bigger problem than normal. You know, our update compensation has grown. It used to be only 100. Now it's 300 for every update. I mean, this is 166% higher, right? Or this is 166% of this. So this is legitness. This is half of 1,000. This is 500 diamonds. That's crazy. So let's claim that. And now let's talk about the new class. Oh, the new class. So how do we find it? Well, you can go here to your heroes. You can see I clicked on my roster. You go to heroes. And over here, right there, you can see the little filter button. And you can sort by class. However, you'll see right next to my head, let me move myself, there's only 5 buttons. There's only 5 classes. We got the sword for the fighters. We got the shield for the defenders. We got the arrow for the marksmen. We got the wand for the mages. We've got the hands for the healers. Well, somewhere else here, I'm going to show you right now, we got a little more. So if you go to artifacts, you go here, and then you go to sell, and you've got your sell filters. Let me move that big fat head and hair of mine out of the way. What's that? Tactical mastery. Also, guys, at the time of filming this, a lot of people have let me know this is a thing, but I wanted to give a big shout out to Major Queen, who was the first person to send me the screenshot and let me know that Tactical Mastery was already somewhat live in game. So thank you, Major Queen. So we've always got generic. This is just everything. anything that isn't class exclusive, right? So any epics and then any hero exclusives. However, you can go class by class, fighter. You can check out your defenders. You can check out your marksmen, mages, healers, and then tactical mastery. So I believe it was teased, or at least what I was hearing in the grapevine, it was called Calvalry. But now it seems like they're going to call the class tactical mastery. Maybe this is a placeholder name. Frankly, I hope they change it. It's going to be really hard making content and be like, hey guys, check out Doug, the new tactical mastery class hero. But that's just, I guess, a weird content creator problem. I hope they call it masterclass, or call it cavalry, like I thought it was going to be, or call it little speedy boys, whatever you want. But I think tactical mastery is kind of weird to say. However, this is here. The fact that they've already have an icon, it's already loaded in, the fact that it made its way into a global patch, I can't imagine this was intentional unless they're going to hot patch in a new class before the next update. But it means it's close. It has to mean it's close. You don't see stuff like this in Watch of Realms, let alone any game. I mean, I've never seen it where it's like, oh, that was 7 months out. I don't know how it worked its way into the code of the March patch. It's like, no, if it worked its way into the code of the March patch, whether intentionally or not, it's upcoming. It's on some version they're already working on. It's live on some test version internally that they're building off of, right? That's huge. That's really huge. Is there a chance this is a Philippa situation? So if you don't know what a Philippa situation is, let me introduce you to Philippa. Many of you don't know who she is, and many of you only know who she is because you are just like, who the heck is Philippa? Philippa's been in the gallery for almost a year and a half. She was accidentally added. Her and actually Draga at the same time were accidentally added. She was fusion fodder on the Forerunner server ages ago, and a couple people were able to pull her. Twice she appeared live in the game, but if you go to reviews, she only has 51 reviews. Almost no one has her. I got her, but she's not in the pool. How did I get her? Like for achievement. Guess we're ahead of schedule for the next fusion. Yeah, I mean, we're looking back here, October 2023. We're talking a year and a half ago. And she's never formally been introduced. So is there a chance Tactical Mastery made its way in and it's just going to be a year and a half? A year and a half, no shot. But could it be a while? In theory. But they haven't had a slip up like they did with Philippa in a long time. By the way, quick tangent. If you're wondering why she hasn't been added, this kit is Dogwater. She's just a much worse version of Brienne. I shouldn't say much worse. She's a worse version of Brienne. She even is clearly the same model as Brienne, from what I can tell. Just her eyes aren't covered. But yeah, if they made her Esotericist and Piercer, then she'd be maybe a Brienne alternative. I still don't know if she'd be as good. But yeah. So is there a small chance it's a miles out mistake? Sure. However, if we really take it back to reality here, the reason Philippa slipped her way in, it's from an old version. Philippa was on Forerunner over 2 years ago. Philippa was on Forerunner I think it was spring 2023. The game only launched globally July 2023. So she just made her way in from old code from an old Forerunner file, right? This is new. This is not on Forerunner. This is not on test server. This is brand spanking new. That means it's close. I really sincerely think that means it's close. So if you're wondering how this was barely teased in that interview, if you want to know the quick hits on what this is supposed to be, these are units that have special abilities. I think they said they were going to lean into support abilities, but the key thing is they can move, right? That's the tactical part of this mastery this class will have. They can move from tile to tile. So imagine they can be on this platform or this platform, and there's some way to toggle, which I'm really excited about. That adds a live element to the gameplay, which is why I have fallen in love with tower defense and why I think a lot of people like tower defense as opposed to turn-based games. Moreover, what if there's a unit, we've talked about this forever, that could switch between a melee tile and a platform tile, from ground to platform? That would be crazy. How far can they travel? Can they travel from one side of a map to another? I really don't know, but I think it's really, really, really exciting. And I would like to think this will not just be introduced hey guys, you got all the content in Watch of Realms, here's a new class. If they're introducing a new class, you probably need new content for that new class to shine. That is not to say they can't shine in existing content, but boy, oh boy, I really think it's also the sign of new content. The game's kind of on a heater right now, in my opinion. I don't like Abyss 1. I did like the faction trials, but they're putting out new stuff. They're giving crazy rewards. It really seems like they're getting the momentum back after the TikTok ByteDance Newverse fiasco. Which, by the way, I've been assured consistently behind the scenes that everything is resolved, and if something else happens to ByteDance and TikTok, we are in the clear. Obviously abroad, you guys are good to go, but in America, we should be good. So no more hiccups in the game. It seems like they're getting their footing back. I think it's really exciting. I will also tell you, personally, my little lens into the success of the game is through the views on my channel because, I'm one of the bigger channels. So if people are interested in the game, they will be more interested in my channel. And I've seen a big uptick the past week. So I think that bodes well. I think we're getting momentum, and I think nothing would bring that home more than a new class. And who knows how these tactical masteries work. I have a video coming out tomorrow talking about something new that could come to the game that I'd like to see, all theory crafting, but that I think would make Abyss 1 better, and it would be a much cooler solution than just being like, hey guys, here's the new hero. It's Kagiri plus Wukong plus Falsia, and you can toggle between magic and physical, right? I think there's cooler solutions than that. We're going to discuss that tomorrow. However, maybe tactical mastery, maybe this class of hero is going to be an unexpected solution to Abyss 1. Who knows? This could open up a lot of things. And it could be a solution to the Rogue Tower that might be coming, or to new events, or maybe a Gear Raid 4, and then a Gear Dungeon 3. Like, I really don't know. I think it's really, really cool. I'm going to end the video there, but I'm very excited. I think you guys can tell. I love this game so much, and I just want fresh stuff to keep happening. We've got a good thing going here, but we got to keep it going gooder. Remember, guys, if you ever feel frustrated, the game's only a year and a half old. Like now that I'm covering Raid Shadow Legends, which by the way I am, you can check out my other channel if you're keen. I'll put the link to my other channel in the description in case you want to check it out. But yeah, like a lot of people in Raid are like, oh, Watch Realms has nothing to do. It's like Raid's freaking 6 years old. When I started playing Raid, I've been playing Raid longer than almost anyone that's currently playing Raid. And Raid had already been out a year and a half. That's how old it is, right? So I think that's really important to consider. Watch Realms is just at the point where Raid just started adding stuff. So we have no idea what kind of legs we've got. Obviously, the game's going to last another half a year to a year, of course, if not a year to 2 to 3 years. But can it be a real success? They need to add new stuff, and this is around the time when games start doing it. The game is solid. It's definitive. It's settled into what it is. Now you start growing it. How big can it get? I think that's the point we're at. Hopefully, tactical mastery in this new class is the start of many new cool things. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Fastidious. I'm pretty hyped up, man. I have good vibes right now. Good vibes with the game. I'm feeling good about it. Thank you. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.